Day 365 of the war, also known as the Nakba, or catastrophe in Arabic, is almost upon us. The world is marking the anniversary of Israel's occupation of Palestinian territory and the mass expulsion of Palestinians from their homeland. And we're here in Gaza to show you what life is like under the world's most brutal occupation. For over a year now, we've been living in a state of limbo, waiting for the next Israeli military operation. This place has become a scene of a crime, an open-air prison where people are killed, injured, and detained without charge or trial on a daily basis. And the international community does little to hold Israel accountable. It's as if the world is watching a horror movie and can't look away. Since October last year, Israel has waged a relentless campaign of violence against Gaza, killing more than 20,000 Palestinians, including women and children. They've demolished over 18,000 homes, leaving 2.3 million Palestinians homeless. And they've imposed a siege that has left the 2.5 million people here completely dependent on humanitarian aid. The Israeli Defense Forces claims that all these attacks are necessary to defend Israel from militants in Gaza. But who are the militants? According to Israel, anyone who opposes the occupation is a militant. That means anyone throwing stones, Molotov cocktails, or even launching rockets at Israeli soldiers or Israeli settlements can be targeted by Israel's military. So there is no protection for civilians here. Civilians are caught in the crossfire. Medical services in Gaza have been completely crippled. As a result of the Israeli airstrikes, more than 100 health facilities, including hospitals, clinics, and ambulances, have been destroyed. There's also a shortage of medical supplies, equipment, and medicines. In addition, the siege has prevented patients from leaving Gaza to seek medical treatment in the West Bank or abroad. All this has led to the deaths of hundreds of patients, including women and children who could have survived if they had received timely medical care. The situation is equally dire when it comes to education. The war has destroyed more than 200 schools and universities. Over 1,000 teachers and 27,000 students have been killed or injured. Around 290,000 children are out of school, and there is no immediate prospect of them returning to the classroom. And then there's the economy. The war has left tens of thousands of people unemployed. Most businesses have been destroyed. People's life savings have been wiped out. Even the fishing industry, which employs about 10% of Gaza's workforce, has been devastated due to the Israeli naval blockade. In the face of all this suffering, the people of Gaza have shown remarkable resilience. They've rebuilt their homes and schools. They've launched a massive tree planting campaign, and they continue to demonstrate against the occupation whenever they get the chance. But the question is, how long can this resistance continue? For how long can the people of Gaza endure the pain and humiliation of the occupation, the constant threat of eviction, the daily killings, and the suffocating siege? For how long can they live like this? I met a family whose story is a microcosm of the Palestinian tragedy. A young man was killed during the last Israeli offensive. Their father, who was already sick, died as a result of the Israeli air, and their mother sits alone in her destroyed house, too afraid to leave because she fears being killed or evicted. How many more families have to suffer like this before the world takes action to end the occupation? How many more people have to die before the United Nations Security Council passes a resolution calling for an independent Palestinian state? We stand today in the birthplace of our struggle, the village of Al-Aqsa, where Palestinian militants first fought back against the Zionist invaders in 1920. We're still resisting, but we need the world to stand with us. We need the world to hold Israel accountable for its occupation and its war crimes. The world says it wants a two-state solution. Well, we Palestinians want a just one-state solution where everyone, Palestinians and Israelis, live in peace and security. But we cannot achieve that while the current Israeli government, which is waging a genocide against us Palestinians, remains in power. Until then, we will continue to resist the occupation in all its forms, whether through peaceful protests or armed struggle, because we have no other choice. This is our land, and we will not accept living under occupation any longer.